right, welcome back to Sunrise. So the highly anticipated memoir of the late Jamaican businessman and visionary Sameer Younis, called The Lion of King Street, Sameer Younis, A Portrait of Service, will be launched in just 1 week's time. And here to tell us how this book brings to life the extraordinary legacy of Younis, our author of The Lion of King Street, Elaine Commissiong, OD, JP, MBA. I'm going to throw those letters in there. Come on now, you earned them, Elaine. And son of Sameer Younis, Jason Younis. Welcome to the show, both of you. Hi, Jason. Morning.
Hi, Andy. Morning. Thank you for having me, and thank you for accommodating me on Zoom.
Elaine has a message for you about that. What did you say, Elaine?
Thank you, Jason.
She wishes you were here with her. But let me start with you, Jason. Let's talk a bit about your father and his legacy. Obviously, he was an astute businessman. Tell us some of his business initiatives for those who may not know.
Well, back in the day, people can remember there was this company called Fabrics de Younis.
Mm-hmm.
It started in the Spanish Court Plaza and grew to about 13 outlets island-wide. And at the same time he was pursuing his business activities, he also did manufacturing, all of which he was doing while still finding time to serve his community.
Yeah.
In fact, he was the only person to date, and he will only be the person that was the president of the Chamber of Commerce and president of the GMA.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
He was a fearless advocate for business in general, as well as individual business colleagues. He represented them both personally and collectively, speaking out publicly for their cause. He fought against government with issues such as taxes, trade within the Caribbean. He was also responsible for taking the duties off of raw materials.
Oh, wow. And
if you knew him, he wasn't afraid to address unpopular issues. He spoke his mind.
Indeed.
Elaine kind of did a chuckle and said, indeed, right here, agreeing with you. Obviously, the book will get into even more of that. But just before we touch on the book and I bring Elaine in, what is the thing that matters most to you about how your father is remembered? What's that thing for you? How do you want him to be remembered?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
What's the thing that matters most in how your father is remembered? How do you want him to be remembered?
Boy, well, yes, I wanted to remember him remembered as somebody who was an advocate for business, as well as a philanthropist, and somebody who did spend his life serving at-risk youths and trying to do the best for Jamaica. I mean, he was a true patriot.
Yeah.
He loved his country and he loved his people.
Yeah, I actually love that that's how you ended it, because before we even came into this interview, Elaine said that. True Jamaican patriot. And it mattered so much to him to pour into Jamaica. So Elaine, share with me a bit about bringing this story to life, telling his story for him and making others be able to understand who the Lion of King Street was.
It was such a pleasure.
Yeah.
And for me, such an appropriate climax to a professional relationship that started from 1981.
Wow.
In fact, my own company was formed because of the work that I was about to do at the Chamber of Commerce. Mm-hmm. I then worked for a firm called PRA, which was the first ever public relations agency in Jamaica.
Wow.
Owned by Desmond Henry, Ralston Smith, and Ken Jones. Mm-hmm. Desmond Henry at the time was serving as the director of tourism, and he was about to migrate from Jamaica. And he came to me with the proposal that I should take over a campaign he was about he could no longer act on, which was to help a rising businessman, Sameer Younis, to engage in a campaign to make the city of Kingston clean again.
Wow.
So I couldn't stay at PRA and do that. So I started my own company called Cara Limited and met Sameer, and we just went from there. And all the major campaigns, the Clean as a Whistle campaign, which made his name, I had the privilege of working alongside with him, shaping a strategic plan and then doing the publicity. So that's how it began.
So in you authoring this book, it's not just coming in from the outside as a stranger.
No.
You're not coming in from the cold.
No.
Yeah, you were in right there doing work with him. You knew him personally. You knew him well.
Yes.
What would you say to people who are just like, maybe I should get this book? I'm not so sure. Why should they pick this book up?
Oh, I'm so happy you asked that, because one of the things I'm most afraid of is that the example that he showed would be lost to so many people, not only young people, but older people who feel my voice alone does not matter. His voice, and it was a big voice, his voice mattered, and he was fearless. And what I really liked about him is that he was truly compassionate. He really felt the pain of others and didn't just throw up his hand and say, okay, what can I do? He found out what he could do, and he empowered others and challenged others to help him.
Lovely.
You know, to do what he dreamt of doing.
Yeah.
So I think he exemplified a true transformational leader who led by example, but empowered and motivated others to follow him. So I think Jamaica would miss a lot if they didn't read about Sameer Younis, because it's so motivational.
Brilliant, brilliant. Jason, give us the details on how we can get this book, when it comes out, what people need to run and do to get their hands, or get a copy rather.
Okay, well, first I'd like to thank the S Hotel. They're a sponsor of this, and the book launch is actually this coming Sunday at the S Hotel at 5 p.m. The books are available at Bookland, Bookophilia, Books and CDs at the Norman Manley International Airport, and Ligony Drug and Garden. But if you'd like to pick up your own copy, you know, feel free to come down Friday, December 1st to the S Hotel, starting at 5 p.m.
Elaine,
Yes.
final word, you can add on that.
Okay, I think that Jamaica will be happy and proud to read about a fellow Jamaican and what he did for Jamaica with such pride. And one thing I want to say, he had a special thrust to help the disadvantaged. And that was unexpected of a person that looked like him and was a successful businessman. And it motivates us to do the same.
Brilliant stuff. So you heard them say it's this Sunday is the launch.
Yes.
You can get your copy at several bookstores.
Yeah.
Is there anywhere online that people can go and check for those additional
Later
details?
it will be at Amazon.
Amazon,
And
okay.
one of the bookstores, Kingston Bookshops, island-wide,
Awesome.
will also have it.
And this will be readily available come Monday after the launch on Sunday.
Definitely.
Excellent stuff. Our guests have been Elaine Commissiong, OD, JP, MBA, author of The Lion of King Street, Sameer Younis, and Jason Younis is a son of Sameer Younis. All right, it's time for another break. Then TK takes over for the morning news. Please stay with us right here on Sunrise.